by this new stage, right now, in fact, we are going to engage first the private sectors, second the community, thirdly the society. So that to Pakistan, we are encouraging the joint ventures to Pakistan. We are encouraging or enhancing that the manufacturing capacity of Pakistan. SEZ is only part of it, just as I think just now I was discussing with the Honorable Minister, that joint ventures anywhere in Pakistan is welcome, as long as the private sectors can get together, can finalize a deal, and can start manufacturing together in Pakistan. Second area of the second stage or the new stage of the CPEC is the agriculture. Because both China and Pakistan, we are agricultural countries. And a new joint working group under the CPEC has been established. And by agriculture, basically, we are working on the agriculture technology and equipment cooperation, training cooperation. By enhancing the technology in the agriculture sector, that we hope that we can have more outcome of the agriculture. Of course, we also include the commercial cooperation under the agriculture, like joint plantations and the investment in the agriculture sector is encouraged too. The third area of our cooperation in the second stage is social cooperation. And this basically is based on our grant projects, assistance project that will include education, health, water management, poverty alleviation, vocational training. And for the first stage, we call the fast track, 17 projects, including all these education, health, have been started with the collaboration of the Pakistani government. There's a fourth area of focus, which is, I think, a latest development, is science and technology, a joint working group under the science and technology. This science and technology cooperation, according to our current plan, it includes, first is regarding the state of the art, the top level joint research between the two science and technology departments, joint laboratories, joint training and of the top scientists. Second level of the science and technology cooperation will include the application, that is more applied technologies or techniques will be used in different sectors. This will include agriculture and manufacturing, and also in academic fields. So by expansion of the CPEC cooperation, including industrial, agriculture, science and technology, and social cooperation, I believe that the CPEC will be reaching out towards the society, towards more community, and towards more applied industries. But today's topic is basically under the CPEC SEZ cooperation. SEZ, I saw that some of the major developers of the Chinese company, road and bridge, this Guada, they are all present today. And you know that for the past 40 years, when China started its economic growth about 40 years ago, we started from the SEZ. Basically, the government, our government, at that time, the Chinese government, only did three things to encourage. And this is, I think, from our own experience, these three things are the key elements for joint ventures or for the foreign investment. First, give the policy, give a kind of incentive policy, incentives packages. That is what kind of policy which is suitable for the neighborhood or for the province or for the municipalities or for that. Then second, develop the infrastructure facilities, road, gas, whatever, oil and electricity, something. Thirdly, is help to open the market of other countries. That is, facilitate manufacturers or factories, investors to have more share of the global or regional markets. I think this is basically the Chinese government did. However, because the different natures of the industries, different natures of the localities, different natures of the manufacturing, so that different joint ventures or different localities, they have the different priorities. Some are focused on processing, some are focused on raw materials, some are focused on a certain specific sector of the industry. So right now you see that in fact, there are totally different areas in China which that the economy is most booming. In the southern part of China, around the province of Canton, Fujian, Zhejiang, this is basically, they are focused on the manufacturing of the light industries. Why? Because they are the coastal areas. They have the large number of the laborers. They have easy access towards the overseas markets. To the northern part of China, basically in the northeast of China, around Beijing or Tianjin, these areas, we are focused on having the industries, machineries, minerals, mines, power supply, all this. I think that right now, Pakistan is moving into a very promising and encouraging period. First, we have a visionary government, and the ease of doing business has been started. Everything is not easy. Everything is not easy. As the Prime Minister Imran Khan said, you have to overcome a lot of difficulties before you can deliver. And I think right now is the period for the delivery. So the vision is important, direction is important. When we have this vision, we have this direction, I think a lot of Chinese investors, Chinese industrialists, we are encouraged that. For the Chinese government, we will do everything possible to encourage these FDIs or the investors to take them to Pakistan, to introduce them to their local partners, to develop their own joint ventures. Second, the economy of Pakistan is stabilized. It is unfortunate that there were some kind of temporary difficulties. But right now we see the very positive and encouraging indications of the stabilization of the fiscal situations and also the financial situation of Pakistan. I think exactly the government is paving this kind of foundation, is giving this kind of foundation for a development of the economy. But this economy finally should be contributed by the private sectors. The government gives direction, has this kind of policy, but this direction policy should be materialized towards a kind of economic outcome by the efforts of the industrialists, by the efforts of the private sectors. And also, I think another very important element is that since China right now is among the major investors all over the world, so we have a state policy of our government that we should encourage, we should support, we should push FDIs, investment to Pakistan. And this, the CPEC SEZ matters, because we want them to be some kind of examples. For example, the example of a kind of joint incentives from both Chinese and Pakistani government. For example, the SEZ we are developing in Rashkai, KPK province, or in Dabeji, in Sindh provinces. How can we work a joint package for the investors who will be located in these SEZs? This is right now we are working with BOI, Ministry of Industries and Commerce also. How can we do that? We make it as a kind of example. Of course, free zone in Gwadar also. Yeah, some steps have been taken. However, I know that anything, both in China and Pakistan, is not very easy because this kind of investment, joint ventures, is not only a single agency's work. It is a holistic. It is a systematic. It engages federal government, local government. It engages the different sectors and that. But through this channel of cooperation under the CPEC, we see the government of China, the government of Pakistan, we are determined to move forward. And the Chinese companies, I think that a road show has been done somewhere some time ago regarding the Rashkai, that the feedback from the Chinese industrialists or the sectors is quite encouraging. They are quite eager to join these SEZs in Pakistan. But SEZ is not exclusive. It's open to all. I think because why? Because that right now is a global market. Whoever wants to invest in the SEZs and the CPEC, they are most welcome. Third countries, third parties, and I think even we should give priority to the third parties fund because this is, I think, is a global market. The money, the investment has no borders, no borders. As long as it is helpful for the development of Pakistan's economy, I think this exactly is the blessing of the SEZs. And I'm very glad the government of Pakistan is working and moving towards these directions. But more encouraging for me is that for the past half a year, in fact, a lot of joint ventures have already started. Some tire factories, garment factories, trucks, buses, steels. So there are a lot of joint ventures, even without the knowledge, I think, of our government or whoever. This is the indication of the improvement of the investment environment of Pakistan. This is the indication that the private sector of Pakistan is attractive, I think is a suitable, is a good partners for foreign investment. I would like to conclude this word is that China has every confidence for the economy of Pakistan. And I believe the Chinese business community also is confident for the future economy of Pakistan. Pakistan will have a booming economy, I think, in a very short period. And that the government is working for that. And I believe Chinese government and also the Chinese business community will join you to achieve this booming economy. Thank you.
The Prime Minister on Commerce, Textile, Industry, Production and Investment, Mr. Abdul Razak Dawood.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador from China, Mr. Yao Jing, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. We're here to discuss CPEC and look at the facilities and the progress that has been made on the SEZs. There has been a lot of talk as to the future role of CPEC. Is CPEC going forward? Is it not going forward? What is going on? I'd just like to give the government of Pakistan's views on it. Whenever there is a directional change in the needs of a particular program like CPEC, there is always a period when the change takes place. Let me be very clear that right across over so many years, CPEC has been in the interest of Pakistan. If we all remember, we were having a great deal of difficulties in power shortages, and it was the Chinese government, it was CPEC that came forward, and alhamdulillah, today we are not in an energy crisis, we're out of it, and now we even have surplus electricity. So then the time came is what's the way forward now for CPEC? And as the ambassador very clearly said, the way forward now is industry, agriculture, and we're also looking to China for the improvement of the railways. Gwadar is now picked up, and it's so nice to hear that in Gwadar investments have already started and few factories are coming up. Basically what it means is that obviously a new government comes in, it takes time for it to get its act together and start to move on many fronts. And I want to just say that after this phase of CPEC, where do we see CPEC after this current phase? CPEC is a part and parcel of the Belt and Road Initiative. We are a part of that. And once the investments gets going, Gwadar picks up, other SEZs pick up, then we will be looking for the next phase as how can we, through CPEC, get the integration of our economy with China through the land routes, through various routes, and the Central Asian republics. So, and then as China links itself with Europe, how do we link in with that? So CPEC is an evolutionary thing. It'll keep going and inshallah help Pakistan in the years to come. Coming to our own role, the government's main ideas and strategy was immediately to bring stability to our economy. We were an economy that was losing foreign exchange very rapidly. We were an economy which was importing more and then we were exporting. The balance was huge. And so obviously we had to correct it, and the correction took place in the form of devaluation. Correction took place in the form of squeezing our imports, and most important, developing an export-led growth strategy. Alhamdulillah, as a result of this and the efforts of the past 18 months, the rupee is reasonably stable now. Our exports are growing, and in the month of February, you'll have noticed that for that month, year on year, we are now, our exports have moved up on a value basis of 13.6%. In an environment where our major competitors, India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, their exports are actually decreasing in value term because of the recession in the world. And so here is Pakistan, a country that is moving forward. And I think this is a tribute to our exporters and our businessmen and our investors, who are the ones who actually do the doing. They're the ones who have moved forward. And Alhamdulillah. So today, the economy is reasonably stable now. We're moving in the right direction. But as we all know what happened yesterday in the world markets went down, the oil prices tumbled, and that brings out new challenges. To me, yes, it is new challenges, but it's new opportunities too. Prices at oil prices down in the lower 30s, alhamdulillah, it can be very, very good for us, and it will certainly help us on our current account deficits and our fiscal deficit. So the one thing that we have to do is be very smart, think through our strategy for the future, and link whatever we are thinking of in light of the new circumstances with CPEC and our investments in the various SEZs. I have to be very grateful to the government of China. They gave us a good FTA. The FTA with China Phase 2, which came into operation on the 1st of January this year, is a good instrument. And inshallah, when we'll be over with the current coronavirus issue, I'm sure that our exports to China will definitely increase, because they've given us a very, very good opening. What the FTA does is it's actually made us vis-a-vis China just like any other ASEAN country. So we are very close to the benefits that are being given to others, and we are grateful to the Chinese government for doing this. As the ambassador said, SEZs being developed by China, and in your subsequent deliberations today, you will, I'm sure, talk more about it. But as the ambassador said, that those SEZs, we want investors from Malaysia, from any country, to come and invest in those SEZs that are being developed, and we're giving fairly lucrative benefits. And also, as the ambassador just said, investment from textiles, tire manufacturing, steel, ceramic, all are coming in now. And it's now, the cycle has begun, and inshallah, it will pick up speed as we go along. I can tell you right now, our biggest industry is textiles, and the textiles wallahs are telling me that their biggest problem today is not to find markets. Their biggest problem is capacity. They need more capacity, and so the role of the SEZs will become all the more important, because that is where we are, where we have to now concentrate, because market access is available. You all heard about the good news of that we have a continuation of our GSP Plus into Europe. That means two very big markets, China through an FTA and Europe through the GSP Plus. We have a tremendous opportunity. So please let us look at CPEC related SEZs, and this is a golden opportunity for us, and one of the things that we certainly want to do is not to miss this opportunity. So to all of you, I'm very happy that you've had this get-together, that the BOI has arranged this. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for addressing us. I could not end without one special thanks, and I'd like all of you to applaud the role that the ambassador himself has played in bringing Pakistan together. Thank you very much. Thank you.